There are so many issues plaguing this community that the city has dropped the ball on, because this has been considered the sixth borough of New York City for such a long time that we have a lot to catch up on.
So often on the fringes of New York City are still opportunities for people to have access to jobs. The challenge is they always haven't been really good jobs. But on the outskirts, you have a lot of retail, small businesses, mom and pop companies, and then obviously there's services like hospitals and nonprofit organizations. So the challenge is often making sure that those industries also create good paying jobs for people in their neighborhoods.
You want to fill it out now?
Sure. And you can have a seat over at the table over there.
I'm here seeking for opportunity for a job for construction. Construction, automotive, or armed security. It doesn't matter.
Employment is the number one issue here. You know, there are a lot of, there's a population here that may not have 1,000 Harvard degrees, you know, but there are people here who want to work.
Are going to be naming the boxes. Like this one is the Green Committee box, because we have a Green Committee. Oh goodness, I've been unemployed. It's been over 10 years. So I've been just really giving a lot of my attention to the community. It seems like now I'm so engulfed. You know, I see so many things that need to be done. So I got my hand in whatever my hand can find to do. I'm doing it. That's what this is going to do. It's going to bring the community together. And I think it's great. And a water fountain.
What about some of your concerns that you guys spoke about?
I used to work for Trinity Church in Manhattan. So I worked there about 10 years. And then I went to school for computers. And then I started working for the city of New York as a secretary. And I worked there for about 4 or 5 years. Then I left there. And my mother got sick, so I started working to take care of her. So a lot of times when you get out of the workforce, especially if you get out like over 5-10 years, it's not as easy to get back in. Medical field it seemed like that was the field to get into. So what I did, I went to school for a medical assistant, and I finished, and then I did my internship, and then I started applying for work, but they started saying, well, you don't have experience. So I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm like, I do have experience. I did internships. So I thought maybe I need to volunteer. I thought if I volunteer, get my foot in the door, if anything comes through, I'm in the building. You know, so surely they'll pick me up. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I volunteered there for like 2 years, Peninsula. You know, even if I got a job, like in doing phones, I wouldn't have minded, you know, but it didn't happen. I stayed there for like 2 years volunteering. Then Peninsula closed, so.
We have one hospital left, St. John's, and then we have plenty of nursing homes on this peninsula. The hospital is just a whole nother beast because we're trying to keep it open. We lost Peninsula Hospital, which was a place that also employed a lot of people in this community. So right now, the biggest push is making sure that that hospital is still going to be here, because there was a threat of it closing. And a lot of people who live here work there. You know, it's like you said, the number one employment place for this community. Transportation is a huge issue. You're talking an hour and a half, you know, just to get here by train. If you took the train, you probably realized it. You get a good nap here. You could probably get to Florida as quickly as you can get here by train.
I work at Cornell Medical Research University in Manhattan. I'm an animal care technician. I'm 24 years of age, and I've been a Rockaway resident since about the summer of 1999. The closest train here is the 6 train. and that doesn't have a direct connection with the A train, so at least 3 trains. I usually leave my house around 4:30 to get here for my 7 o'clock time. When I get off the train, I still have a slight walk, about 15-minute walk. I see myself moving out of Far Rockaway if transportation doesn't improve or the opportunity doesn't improve out there. If it doesn't get better, I can't stay out there. I have dreams and aspirations, and the area just doesn't support that. So.
There are so many problems with the schools. They don't have up-to-date technology, which is crazy in 2014. They don't have up-to-date books that you can actually use to do research. They don't have school supplies. They don't have updated or renovated gymnasiums. We use social media positively, and one of the things that we're able to do, since we have such a large reach, is post job opportunities. If we hear about something, we can give that to the public and youth who can't find a job or don't know how to find jobs. And there's been times where people message us, oh, do you know about any jobs? And we can just message them back about a job opportunity or tell them to go on our Facebook page and check an album, and they'll just see a listing.
We've committed volunteers to building it, and supplies and things, and even the upkeep of the garden. We're going to hire a local young person who's going to be in charge of maintaining the space all year round. And over the summer, we're going to have 10 summer youth employees who are going to also maintain the space. Every single member of the Rockaway Youth Task Force who wants to be employed is currently employed. And that's due to them just gaining skills that taught them how to navigate the world as a young adult. Every single one of our members has resumes. Every single one of our members knows how to conduct themselves on an interview. And these are skills that aren't taught in school. So we feel like we're definitely filling the gap between school and what's needed in the real world to be a productive citizen.
This is African Caribbean Central Market in Far Rockaway. There was only a tiny African store here, and that wasn't well operated, a smaller one. So then my wife thought about it, and then with my help, we were able to open it. For a company to take off, you need a substantial amount of money. Break even within the first year, the second year, you need help. Without that, it's gonna take you a good while to get. You can't do that within a short period of time if you don't have the help.
Yeah, I'm coming to you for money.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look good. In our case, we were working.
Right.
And we're not so dependent on the income here, because the income here was used to pay the utilities and the rent, because the rent is very high because it's a shopping district.
The decisions made by those owners don't always take into account the needs of workers, right? They don't always take into account the interests of workers, right? In fact, for them, a lot of times what's in their best interest is to actually make decisions that are not good for workers, that decrease worker salaries, that decrease workers' benefits, because if they do that, they make more money. You got it, exactly. And so That is the fundamental difference, right, between a conventional business and a workers' cooperative, right? With a conventional business where you have one owner or you have some shareholders who make the decisions, in a workers' co-op, the workers are also owners, so they're the ones who make the decisions, and they make those decisions through some sort of democratic process. But the idea is that everyone, all the workers, participate in the big decisions that guide the business.
Una persona de NASO nosotros a ayudarle en esta operativa, ayudarle a montar una cooperativa.
Well, maybe can we like just go quickly one by one what we think of these questions here?
Their first job. And they will begin tomorrow. They got the deposit to get the materials. Yeah. So tomorrow shopping. And then it's to start a 10-day project in the Rockaway. So that's really exciting. And I'm going to be praying for the group and praying that this will be the beginning of many more jobs to come. Great.
Soy de la República de Honduras y vivo hace 14 años en Rockaway. Antes de Sandy, ¿verdad? Yo trabajaba en construcción, pero trabajaba para otras gentes. Tenía un jefe, pues dependía de la persona esta si me llamaba para trabajar o no, o si él tenía empleos o no, y recibía un sueldo diario. Si trabajaba ganaba y si no, no. Luego ahora vinieron estos programas de lo que le están ayudando a uno con las cooperativas y nos ayudaron a crear nuestra propia empresa, ¿verdad? Con licencias y seguros, que estamos supuestos a trabajar de esa misma forma legalmente en este país para pagar los taxes. Y este es nuestro primer proyecto, ¿verdad? Ya como dueños o socios de esta empresa. Hoy tenemos la oportunidad de ganar un poco más, porque ya como nosotros como empresarios podemos quedarnos, ¿verdad? No es que nos vamos a hacer ricos, pero al menos pues aprovechamos lo que esta gente tal vez podían haber cobrado por un proyecto. Solamente en el área de la construcción, hay muchas áreas en las que se puede emplear el programa, y de igual forma pues crearía o generaría más fondos, más empresas, más fuerza productiva a este lugar, que es lo que necesitamos, ¿verdad? Para que la economía pueda superar y pueda salir adelante.
So the definition of a good job is really quite simple. Make sure that you have a wage that allows you and your family to house and feed and clothe yourself. Make sure that you are in an environment that's safe, and that you have the ability to make sure that you can collaborate with your colleagues, and make sure you have a good, safe working environment.
Cuando la gente habla de Far Rockaway o de los Rockaways, que creen que verdad que es un área marginada o que es donde hay mucha pobreza. Pero toda esta gente que tenemos desempleada y que son gentes trabajadoras, gentes honestas, deben de estar trabajando en un empleo, ¿verdad?, estable. Y pues eso es lo que nosotros anhelamos, todos nosotros. Y yo sé que lo vamos a lograr.